All right, hi everyone. Welcome to your pick a pile reading. Today we're seeing what blessings are in store for me. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is whenever you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you end up subscribing, I upload my pick a pile readings on Sundays. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, the link is in the description. But with that being said, pile number 1 is the Bianco Nero Tarot. Pile number 2 is the Morgan Greer Tarot. And pile number 3 is the Sun and Moon Tarot. I'll give you guys some more time to choose if you haven't already, but then I'll get started with pile number 1. Okay. Starting with pile number 1. Let's see what blessings are in store for you. Okay, so your overall energy is the Hierophant, which is very interesting to me because one of the cards in your reading is the High Priestess, and the High Priestess and the Hierophant are very much counterparts to each other. So right off the bat, I'm getting the message that you have somebody in your life that you've been talking to or that is very prominent. It's very much me and them right now with this Hierophant and the High Priestess. And I feel that for a lot of you guys, it might actually be a relationship. And I'm thinking that it might be very much on the rocks right now, but it looks like there's some kind of a blessing coming in that makes things sort of get their second wind. Because I'm seeing this Five of Wands, which to me talks about conflict and competition. But the fact that you have the Fool in reverse with the Seven of Wands tells me that it's gonna blow over pretty quickly, especially with the Fool in reverse. The Fool in reverse talks, well, the Fool upright talks about new beginnings, right? So the fact that it's in reverse tells me that you guys aren't going to be experiencing a new beginning, aren't going to be experiencing that ending per se. Especially with this Seven of Wands, because whenever I get the Seven of Wands, to me it feels like the card of this is worth fighting for. So it looks like this person might have a change of heart, especially with this Moon card. The Moon card is the card of Pisces, by the way. The Hierophant is the card of Taurus. So it could be that you guys are dealing with either of those signs. It could be that you're Taurus, since it came up as your overall energy. But I'm very much getting the fact that there's stuff that you don't quite know about. And I think what it is that you're not knowing right now is that they may have or are in the process of having a change of heart, which will lead to a different kind of a situation, especially with this Ace of Wands, because the Ace of Wands in this reading is adjacent to that Five of Wands. So it feels like to me that you're going to see a new beginning, not in the sense that this person is going to leave, but a new beginning in the sense that this, for a lot of you, I'm getting relationship is going to be reinvigorated. And with this High Priestess and Emperor, I feel like, or sorry, not Emperor, Hierophant, I'm getting that you guys are sort of staring each other down almost. It's like they know and you know, but they also know that you know and you know that they know. And they know that you know that they know, and then that kind of an energy. So it's almost like I'm getting that there's a lot of stuff here. Use your intuition. They are as well. You guys are a very powerful match, but it's mostly about you having the faith to see this Ace of Wands come up. But that was your reading for this pile. So you're more than welcome to go back and choose another pile if you want. But if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new pick a pile videos on Sundays. But in the meantime, you guys are also more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And I hope to see you guys next time. Okay, so this is pile number 2, the Morgan Greer Tarot. Just as a heads up, the cards like to flip around in the deck. I'm going to go ahead and put these back. The cards like to flip around in the deck, but I don't take them out until they, or rather, unless they come out in the reading. Like that. And that. Okay, so your overall energy for right now is the Five of Swords, or rather the Five of Wands. Normally this is a card of conflict, but especially because I see this Eight of Cups, I'm seeing that you're walking away from this conflict. I see that you're in the beginning stages. I think for a lot of you guys it could be reconciliation. It could be just walking away and finding another relationship, or it might be, if you're talking about career, it could be that you're walking away from a job and going to a different job that will allow you to learn more and grow as a person. But I'm seeing that with this, for those of you who it is relationship, I'm seeing this Two of Pentacles, and it's telling me that there's a lot of juggling going on here. And I almost feel like it's juggling going on both sides. So I feel like both of you guys on both sides have options, but you're sort of trying to figure out, like, hey, do we want to keep this as a relationship? And I feel like that's what's being answered now, and as a result, you're going to feel a lot lighter. You know, regardless of if it's with this person or not, I feel that you're going to see a lot of improvement in your emotional state. I see the Knight of Cups, and I also see the King of Cups. So if there's a very prominent water sign in your life, I feel like this might be very important. Water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So if you're dealing with any of those signs, I can see definitely that there's a mature man here with this King of Cups, right? And with this Knight of Cups, it's almost like he wants to come forward with a message. But I feel like from your end, you're very Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles likes to keep to themselves. They're not very charitable, especially with their material possessions or their emotions. So I'm under the impression that you guys right now are probably not telling these people or this person just what's going on. I'm getting the expression like whole truth, nothing but the truth. And with this Temperance card in reverse, I'm almost getting like, because the Temperance card is the card of Sagittarius, and Sagittarians to me are very altruistic sometimes in their sense of telling the truth, just because a lot of times they really don't like lying and they would prefer just being themselves and putting the truth forward. But I feel like right now is the time to be a little bit more strategic, omit information. I'm not saying to be, you know, dishonest or hurtful or whatever, but I'm saying just that. Don't be hurtful. I feel like some information might be better off suited to yourself, especially if it's going to hurt other people or it's going to put you in a position where they can use you or hurt you. But I feel like whatever toxic or difficult element that there is here, you're walking away from it, which good for you. And it might be that you're walking away from it because it's this temperance in reverse. Because the temperance in reverse talks about combination. It talks about being able to mix things to get them to produce something new. So I like to think of that sometimes in the context of relationships, mixing two people and getting a relationship out of them that has entirely different dynamics than both of those people, but is somehow the same. And I feel like that's you. I feel like you didn't quite see that equality, and that forced you to walk away, which for a lot of you guys, you might be walking away and finding this Knight of Cups. And for a lot of you guys, you might already know this Knight of Cups, and you're sort of waiting on this person to know if, like, it's worth walking away or not. But that was your reading for this pile number 2. You're more than welcome to go back and choose another pile if you like. But if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really like to know if it resonates. But like I said before, I upload my new pick a pile reading videos on Sunday. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to go watch any of my other readings. And I hope to see you guys next time. All right. Hi, pile number 3. Ooh, we already have a card. This is what blessings are in store for me. So the other 2 piles were actually very love heavy. So if you guys are dealing with something in love, I'd recommend going back and checking out those 2. But if you guys get another love heavy reading, I'm probably going to rename this video to What Are My Blessings in Love? All right, you guys, so for overall energy, I got the Queen of Pentacles. So I think a lot of you guys are looking for stability right now, which makes sense because you have a lot of Swords cards, and Swords cards talk about being in your head. But I also see the Six of Swords in particular, along with the Chariot, which talk about movement. So I almost feel like a lot of you might be moving, and that's sort of as a result of maybe something that happened in the past with this Ten of Swords. But like I was saying, I feel like you guys are looking for stability, and I'm looking at the clock right now, and it's 11:11. So for you guys, that might mean something special. You might be seeing a lot of synchronicities, but I feel like now is a very powerful time, especially in terms of manifestation, because I see the Judgment card. So when I say clock, I mean my actual real world clock. It was 11:11, now it's 11:12. But I feel like you guys are sensing those synchronicities. And I feel like you're being urged right now to move away from these situations, either physically or mentally, because I see a lot of mental cards up here. It almost feels like 2 sides of a story, right? So on the top half, we have the Seven of Swords, we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Six of Cups in reverse. So Seven of Swords talks about a very dishonest person, a person who is almost downright evil in a lot of ways, because they're cheaters, they're liars, they're manipulators, they're thieves. It's very toxic energy, very bad for you. And with the Ruin card, talks about being betrayed and feeling backstabbed and feeling stabbed, 10 different times. It really does remind me of the tragedy of Julius Caesar, where at the very end, when he gets stabbed, he says, "You too, Brutus." And I feel like that's how you feel right now. You feel like you're being betrayed by a very close friend, or rather what was a very close friend, or possibly even what you thought was a soulmate. Because with the Six of Cups, I feel a lot of times it represents people that make us feel like we're falling in love for the very first time again. And a lot of times, that feels great. It feels lovely and wonderful. But, with all this negative energy around it, I feel like this is your story, that you were betrayed by someone that you cared about, and now you're moving away from it with this Six of Swords and this Chariot card. You're moving away from being in your head all the time with this Seven of Swords, Six of Swords, and Ten of Swords, because all those are mental cards and cards of thinking. So now you're sort of moving away from that. I feel like you're moving towards a more physical landscape almost. A lot of you might be looking for a change of pace. A lot of you might be being a little bit more absorbed in your work or your passions or your hobbies, and that's been helping, I feel. But I feel like judgment is coming. So if you've been wronged in the past when you shouldn't have, now comes the time of reparations. And, it's never good to be petty or vindictive, but know that if somebody treated you unfairly in the past, that's not going to go unpunished. I feel like now is the time that you're probably going to find out by coincidence, or maybe even some of you might be watching them, which I wouldn't recommend. It's always best to just move on. But I feel like you're going to get the news that this person sort of got what they deserve. Which, depending on who you are, you might be nice, and for others of you, you might not even care. But I feel like on the flip side of that, you're getting what you deserve as well, which means you're probably going to find someone else who treats you a lot better, or you're going to move to a different place. I really want to say Seattle for some reason. So a lot of you guys might be trying to move beachside, or if you guys are so sick of things, maybe try going to the beach. If you don't live near a beach, then it might be time for a vacation, depending on what the weather's like and all that stuff. But all in all, I see that what your blessing in love is that you're going to move away from what's been causing you pain and heartache in the past. But that was your reading for this pile. You're also more than welcome to go back and choose another pile if you so choose. But if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys or not. But like I said before, I upload my new Pick a Pile videos on Sundays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to go watch any of my other timeless videos that I have up on this channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time.